Hey, welcome to the Danger Zone. It's Ashley. Everything in my video was found in a public domain. The full disclaimer's down below. Lots of love and many blessings your way. And a big old thank you to my new friend Teresa. I have not laughed that hard in a good long time. Minus those bangs, everything else was on point. Okay, y'all, let's get on with it. Okay, so if you have not heard the latest, let me tell you about it. Hopefully you'll get a laugh or two out of this. We all need to perk up. Harry and Meghan have been hunkered down in that mansion they're staying in, which I must say, it looks sort of dark and dingy, like dirty or something to me, but it's beautiful inside. I guess that's all that matters. Anyway, while they're hunkered down, it seems like Meghan has way too much time on her hands. We all do. So she just keeps on and on with this Instagram stuff. She simply went over to the World Health Organization's website and copy and pasted their recommendations. Thank you, Meghan. I appreciate this. I had not heard these recommendations yet. She's getting a lot of backlash from a lot of people over it. But listen to this. It gets way worse. I spoke to my good buddy journalist Jay this morning. And I told him, hey, look, I have some suspicion here as to who her friend is talking to the Daily Mail. And he agreed. He said they have to stay relevant. She has to put the smallest little thing in the media somewhere, somehow, just to keep her ball rolling and her name out there. And we all know her good friend has been the one feeding the media. Her friend's doing her grave injustice, and I'll tell you about that right now. Okay, so do you guys remember back in like September or October when they were telling everybody that Archie was starting to pull himself up on furniture? To me as a mother, looking back, that tells me my kids were learning balance, trying to walk. That's right before they start walking. Here's the problem. When they came out with that back in September or October, that child should have been only 4 to 5 months old. Isn't that like a little too young for that milestone to take place? Now, between 4 and 6 months old, they're just learning how to roll over on their stomach or sit up without, falling backwards. Not pulling themselves up on the furniture. Just so she can keep up the facade, I think we should all pull together and get them that what to expect while expecting. That way she can keep up with these milestones. Now, all of a sudden, yet again, Archie is starting to pull himself up on furniture. This time, the friend says he's scaling the crib. I've noticed they have two go-tos when it comes to Archie's updates. He's either pulling himself up on furniture, or he's gaining teeth. It's just not working out. Very hard to believe. And according to this same friend, she is hell-bent and determined to do her part during these scary days we're living in. She wants to relieve some of the burden at her local animal shelter. Good for you, Meghan. And she's raced right down there and adopted a black lab by the name of Cole. I hope she don't leave this dog behind when they move, like she did her other dog. Even though I'm thrilled that this one dog is out of the shelter, there is so much more she could do. Everybody knows I'm the crazy dog lady. I really don't know how I became the crazy dog lady. We moved here like 4 years ago almost, and all of a sudden, I found myself rescuing animals. Looking it over, the only thing I can make sense out of it is this. I needed a healing, and God knew that, and these animals have absolutely been a blessing in my life. God just chose this as part of my journey, and I'm so grateful He did. I really can't picture my life any other way. Lord, we just got off track. Getting back on track. A 50-pound bag of food goes so far in a shelter. While she was adopting this dog, I wish she would have maybe left a few $100 of food behind. Or at least left $1,000 behind. Y'all, she probably has that much change sitting on her vanity in her bathroom. Now, according to her good friend, by Meghan adopting this dog, she's doing her part. Alleviating some stress and anxiety for the shelter. Speaking of stress and anxiety, listen to this. She's now accusing the royal family of giving her extreme anxiety and stress during her time spent with them. It was more than she could bear, and it was all their fault. Not only did they crush her spirit, but they took her breath. She couldn't breathe. She was on the edge, about to crack up. Had to flee. and she stands her ground that it was one of the worst periods of her life. And now that Harry knows his dad tested positive, he is itching to get back home more than ever. He feels he needs to be back home near his family. And she told him, "You are not going back there." And giving him ultimatums, if you go, you're not coming back until all of this is cleared up. So don't even think about it. She's using the excuse that he could possibly catch something and bring it back to her. I want to say thank you to my friend Heidi. I appreciate this information. Heidi shared with me their private plane's recent history. And from the 20th, 21st, and 22nd, the Gulfstream private jet they used shows that it made a round trip from Canada to LA back to Canada. So much for social distancing, huh? As well as closed borders applying to everybody. Somebody's flying to LA and back. I guess that falls on the taxpayers too, because it is before the 31st of March. She wasn't worried too awfully bad. That was only 4 days ago. So when they're posting this mess on their Instagram saying they're doing their part, let's social distance, let's isolate ourselves, let's keep the contamination to a minimum, give me a break. I'll see you soon and we'll talk fast. Y'all stay safe and be blessed.